Welcome to Tales of Ted DeGrazia, a Big Blend radio podcast covering the art, life, and career of Southwest artist Ted DeGrazia, as well as the current events and exhibits happening at DeGrazia Gallery in the Sun. It's a 10-acre National Historic Landmark located in Tucson, Arizona. So welcome, everyone. We have our time with our Tucson dude, which is Lance Labor, who's the executive director of the DeGrazia Foundation out in Tucson, Arizona. And this is all about DeGrazia Gallery in the Sun. It's a 10-acre historic site where you can go and tour the museum. You can go into what's called the Little Gallery and also the home of the artist Ted DeGrazia, really well known and one of the most reproduced artists in the world. He is known for his Southwest art that talks about the people and place, which is Southern Arizona and beyond. So welcome back, Tucson dude. How are you, Lance?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, today we're going to be talking about everything to do with the end of the year. We're going to talk about the latest exhibits that are there. I know we talked about them last time, but we want to remind people, especially for all those who are coming back into Arizona to be, nice and warm compared to other parts of the country. So what's the weather like in Tucson? Let's start there. What's the weather been like for fall?
It's nice. It's still been getting up in the 90s in the day, but it's been going down in the 50s at night. So it's starting to cool off. It's very nice.
That's nice. It is a nice time of year. And even winter, once in a blue moon, you get snow, which is magical, for people to experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah. Well, what's exciting right
Very
now
rarely.
is that you have the visiting artists come to what is the Little Gallery. And so tell us a little bit about the Little Gallery, because isn't that Ted DeGrazia, wasn't that his first place where people could visit him when he was building the actual gallery itself and the Mission in the Sun?
It was his original gallery, and in the early 80s, like 1982 or 1983, we opened it up for guest artists. And so we've been doing that ever since. Every year there's 12 or 13 artists every couple of weeks. They get a show for 2 weeks and get to show and sell their art. And so it's very nice.
I love this because you've got so many different kinds of people. And I want to tell everybody, DeGrazia Gallery is open every single day of the year, except for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's Day, right? So we want people to know that.
Don't forget Easter.
That's right, Easter. But you do always have...
Just 4 days a year. There's only 4 days a year we're closed.
Wow, you work hard, dude. Yeah, that's amazing that you're open so often, Right now you have Mark Proustin in, and Mark is a oil and digital media artist, and he's there until November 14th. And then you start with Max Hewlett. But you know what? Are all these artists people that maybe revisit, the gallery?
Not necessarily. We kind of limit it to where so many people want to get in that we limit it. They can't come back for, a few years. They can reapply after a few years. But everybody on the list that I know of is new. I'm not really familiar with any of the artists except for Max, the guy that's coming in.
And he's a painter. He'll be there November 16th through 28th.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. November 16th through 28th, and he's a painter. So that's cool.
Yeah, he's the only artist that's on the list that I'm familiar with.
Well, but that's the exciting thing, to me, because it's someone new. Yeah, someone new, but I know you've developed relationships. I know I've visited every time, when Nancy and I lived in Tucson. Every time I came to see you, and the artists are in the Little Gallery. That's where Lance was. He's like, I want to know what you're doing. Check this out. And you get to know the people. And I think that's the beauty of this, is like new art for people to discover new artists. And I wonder about Ted DeGrazia, because, he had that, is it the cooperative? Am I saying that right? That of artists that worked on his art, but then because he was into reproducing his art, right?
It was his guild. He called it a
It's
guild.
guild, that's right. So he was working with artists all the time, but then did he help other artists that people didn't know about? I know a lot of musicians do that, and it's like, here, let's work together. I think the creative communities, unless there's a real rival, is supporting
Yeah,
each.
he didn't really collaborate with other artists other than the guild, and they were always doing stuff for him. They were reproducing his images to sell. So he was pretty much focused on his own career. Although, I mean, he did have other artists. He had other friends, famous artists that he knew. But he pretty much worked for it.
Like Thomas Hart Benton. We talked about that.
Exactly.
That's one of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then there's the actors like Lee Marvin that would come and drink Crown Royal with him.
That's
So
right.
you never know. But if Paul McCartney comes to visit, you're not allowed in because you're late. I still can't
That's
get
correct.
past that. I still cannot get past that. But so the little gallery, having all these artists and everyone, again, it's now starting with Mark Proustin, going all the way until April 3rd, 2026. Every couple of weeks or so, 10 days, couple of weeks, there's a new artist inside the little gallery. Who started that? Was it something Marion did or the foundation?
But yeah, that was something that Mrs. DeGrazia did. It was around 82 or 83. She decided to do this. So, and it's been going strong ever since.
I think it's
People
cool.
fight to get in there. They want in so bad, to show their work.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah. I love it too because it's over the season when Tucson kind of gets a new wave of residents in. A lot of snowbirds coming in for, the sunshine and the beautiful mountain views. And so it's a really good time for everyone to kind of get together. And especially over the holiday season, and I want to say, going to DeGrazia Gallery in the Sun. I say this every single show because it's really true. When you go to Tucson, Arizona, there's so much to experience. It is one of the premier destinations in this country, I believe. That's why Nancy and I ended up living there. And it's Lance's fault when we met him at the gallery many years ago. And then next thing you know, we're like, well, we're moving. And we're moving to Tucson. It's his fault. It's the gallery's fault that we moved to Tucson because there's so much to do in the city. But the gallery itself is something so unique and different. It is not your typical gallery. It is not stuffy. It is, I'm not calling all galleries stuffy, but you know what I'm saying. It is, if you want to really experience true creativity and then also look at an artist who was really smart and entrepreneurial, this is a place. And also a person that worked with the locals and the local cultures and really respected and showcased their stories so that maybe more understanding would be fostered. Did I do that well, Lance? I think I got that. Yeah, it's you can't go to Tucson and not go to DeGrazia's. And there's always like the main exhibits that are there that are permanent galleries, and then there's the rotating exhibits, and we'll talk about that in a second. But this time of year, you go there for shopping. They have this amazing gift shop, and you can also go to DeGrazia.org to shop online if you can't go, which is really cool. And so if you want to give someone, if you're living in Arizona or anywhere in the Southwest, and you want to give gifts to where you are, this is the place, or, anybody that lives in the Southwest, just anybody who loves the Southwest, this is it. And you can get everything from Christmas ornaments and gift cards to actual calendars for next year, 2026, to, I'm looking at books and the decor items for entertaining. That has to be one of the popular things is the entertaining part, Lance, that people want the plates, the coasters, that kind of thing, servingware, all of that you have at the gallery and also online is the decor part for your house.
That's right.
Yeah.
They love it.
I know. Because I have people telling me, I've got glasses that have DeGrazia's art on them. My grandma had them. Yeah. Do people call you up about, I know you have original paintings. And so if you're a collector, that's also really special. And then you have a consignment shop. But do you get people calling you about the actual beyond the paintings? I have glassware. What's the value of this? I've had it since the 40s or 50s.
It's a constant thing. Yeah. People are always calling to see what they have, what it's worth. Always. It's a regular thing. Part of my job.
Wonder if DeGrazia has been on antique roadshows, like his work.
No, he hasn't. I haven't seen it, but we've actually talked about seeing if the Antiques Roadshow would come to the gallery.
God, wouldn't that be excellent?
It would be interesting. So we trying to look into that, see if we can pull that off.
That would be awesome. But I wonder how many people take some of DeGrazia's stuff to the roadshow across the country. Like, and his work. Me too.
Watched that show, and I've never seen a DeGrazia painting or anything like that.
Because people hold on to it. It's cool. Like, why would you want to get rid of it? But it's the value thing. I understand all that, but
right.
But what a story. I love Antiques Roadshow. Nancy and I watch this with animals because the animals like to watch it too. It's like a show and tell for animals. I know that sounds crazy, but pets like to watch Antique Roadshow. And it's, everyone's different accents, and we watch the British one. And I would like to have one of those presenters in that proper voice talk about Ted DeGrazia. I really would. I think that would be classic to hear his whole story and how he rose to prominence just out of his sheer will of don't tell me what to do. I'll do it myself,
Right.
I think it's
That's
such a good spirit. When we look at America, he is that spirit. And, as we go into a new year, maybe adopt some of those things into our lives. If you really want to do something, do it and let DeGrazia give you some inspiration. Let's go back to the little gallery. So that was his first, the little gallery was his first gallery on the property? It's 10 acres.
Yes.
So did he paint in front of people when they came there, or was it just display?
Yeah, I mean, it was a gallery. It was a little studio for him. It was the place that he worked before he started building his main gallery. So he painted in there from probably I don't know, probably 1954 until 65 when the main gallery was finished. He used that as a studio.
Did he build his house first and then the little gallery when they were building the?
Yeah, he built his home. No, first he built the little church. He built the Mission in the Sun. That was the first thing he built. And then he went to the west and he started building his home in the little gallery.
Wow. And so he does all that, and then the gallery itself, what is now, and because I look at it as an entire compound when you go there. It's also a National Historic Landmark, everyone. But when you go to the big gallery, so how long did that take, do you think, to actually build? Because he had a lot of helpers too, right?
You mean the main gallery?
Yeah.
That started in 1959 and they finished that in 1965. So it was a 6-year project.
It's huge. When you think about the weather, like if they got a monsoon storm while they were building it and all of that,
I'm not sure. I think the main problem was that he never knew who was going to show up the next day because they got drunk the night before. What part of his crew was going to show up?
And I just realized they even said Crown Royal, but it was Chivas Regal for him, right? Those were all those boxes you guys found once he passed away, like boxes and boxes of that. And wow. And had silver in them? All the boxes?
No, they had money in them.
Money?
Cash. Yeah, there was a lot of cash.
Wow. So he didn't just
stuffing in the boxes.
Yeah, so he couldn't just hide it under his bed anymore. It had to go beyond.
He did that too.
Did he?
Yeah, there was money in the boxes and there was money under the bed.
What about in the mattress? Did he do that? Did he do the mattress? No. Okay. I'm just because in history people did do that. They stuffed it in the mattress, and they slept on their money.
No, he didn't.
Talk about manifestation, the law of attraction. I'm sleeping on my money and I want more. It's my abundance ticket,
right.
All right. So I'm going back to the little gallery people, the artists. So right now, Mark Preston is there. Max Hewlett comes up November 16th through 28th, and paintings. Then Caleb Gutierrez, and if I pronounce anyone's names wrong on this, I'm really sorry. But I have different languages within my mouth, and I create my new ones all the time. So Caleb is there from November 30th through December 12th, and that's multimedia. I love seeing so much multimedia these days in artists, right? I don't think it used to be that you need to be just this, you need to be just that, and I love that the little gallery is open to multimedia artists because that's what Ted DeGrazia and Marion DeGrazia did. You couldn't limit them, So I love to see
that's
that.
True.
Yeah. Elisa Raines is a landscape painter. Then we've got Carol Fisher and Suzanne Hodges coming up, paintings and ceramics. Ambika Walters is doing Madonnas and angels. Well, that goes well, right?
Yep.
And Joanna Pregon is acrylic and oil on canvas. Eric Sletton is pop art. That's cool. Something different. Anna Lee Kiefer is doing photography, and we've got Mary Sherwood with fused glass. Nice. And we close off on April 3rd is the last day of the little gallery with Wendy Islas, and that is landscapes, nightscapes, and waterscapes. So you guys really do choose out that it's something different all the time. Like every few weeks or 10 days or so, you're going to see a completely different experience, which is that by having different artists. But even in looking how you put this together, it's really it's different. Each person is completely different. I think that's cool, Lance. Have all the
Yeah,
different.
yeah. I like to see different art, and they usually do a very nice job displaying, and it brings a lot of people in too.
Now let's talk about La Fiesta de Guadalupe. This is a
Yes.
tradition. December 14th, everyone, is when it happens. You can go to DeGrazia.org again for everything. But La Fiesta de Guadalupe, Lance, how long has this been going, do you think?
Well, it's been going on as long as I've been around, and you're probably looking at 50 years.
Wow.
It's been going on a long time. We've only the only time we ever missed was COVID. We didn't have the festival on COVID, but this year is going to be nice. We got the deer dancers coming, the Yaqui deer dancers, like usual. They never let me down. They always show up. And Domingo DeGrazia's son, the other Tucson dude.
The other Tucson dude he can play the guitar, among other things.
Oh, yes,
right?
He can. And so, him and his buddy Ismael Barajas will be playing in the afternoon. There's all kinds of stuff. The mariachi, the mariachi kids, and the ballet folklorico. The kids come and they dance with their real pretty, their fancy dresses, and it's a very nice day for everybody.
This is cool. And you can get like traditional food too, right?
There's the Yaquis come and cook, and there's all kinds of food there.
Part of the thing is to have that regional food, and you've got the different tribes out there, and then Mexico, and Tucson is a gastronomy capital, a UNESCO gastronomy capital, and the first one ever listed, and featured that way and honored that way. And I think Tucson is one flavorful city for sure. So to go to an event like this and get it kind of hands-on, it's just a different way of really getting the traditional cuisine, which is an art. It is an art form. So the folklorico dancers, that's going to be fun. So everyone, December 14th, mark your calendars. How does that work with parking? Because I know it's 10 acres, but like there's one parking lot, like for a museum guest.
Yeah, well, when the parking lot's full, then people have to go down to about a mile away, and we actually shuttle people back and forth. So
that's cool.
They can park in our parking lot till it's full, and then the police will send you down to McDonald's, and we will go down there and pick you up. That's what we do.
And and everyone save your food. McDonald's is not the regional cuisine unless they start putting chilies in there.
It's just the place where the parking lot is.
But that's cool that they let you do that. That's cool. Now, also going to what's on display right now. I know we touched on this, but this is a really excellent time to go take some time out in the gallery and see the exhibits these are all on display until January 28th. So really you got 3 months, less than 3 months to see these rotating exhibits. The one is Brush Drawings of Ted DeGrazia. And this is really going from like his work from 1945 to 63, right? Most of them in the 50s. Yeah.
Yeah, these are mostly black and white brush paintings. Very interesting. There's a lot of them. Road runners and cowboys and miners and all kinds of interesting things that DeGrazia liked.
Musicians. He likes to paint music. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's a musician too. We can't forget that. He's a musician as well.
No, he was.
And that's another thing you can give for the holidays is his CD. That's a good gift idea. Is the CD of music that's where you guys found his musical manuscripts and created the CD with Domingo, and then you had some help on that too to create the album of his music.
Yeah, that was the Tucson Jazz Academy that helped arrange that.
It's awesome. It's an awesome, y'all have to get it. DeGrazia.org. Just saying. Go check it out or go to the gallery. Even better. DeGrazia's Pastels is also on display as part of the rotating exhibit. So I didn't, I think we touched on that before. I really didn't know he was doing pastels on top of everything else that he was doing. But this is really from the 50s through the 70s.
Yeah, he did work in chalk. There's actually a couple of paintings there, a couple of pastels that he did on the NBC Today Show live many years ago in the early 60s, I think around 62 or 63, something like that.
I wonder if he ever met Johnny Carson. Just thinking about that.
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be funny? Well, he's been on a lot. He's done so much at Arizona Highways, the Today Show. I mean, he really, he's famous. And I just think it would have been funny to see DeGrazia on the Johnny Carson show. I have a feeling they'd get along or not. It could go either way.
Probably. I think he got along with everybody.
Yeah. But I think he would, I don't know. This would have been cool. All right. So ceramic paintings of Ted DeGrazia. Okay. So he painted on the ceramics, which is something different.
These are, they're plates. They're basically big plates, like maybe 12 inches across. Just all ceramic plates that have been painted on all kinds of images. That's one of the really neater parts of the exhibit. I really like those ceramic plates. They're beautiful.
Well, and doesn't that go into what you have also at the gallery that people can buy these are reproduced, right? But, to have that for servingware for the holidays would be excellent. I'm sorry, I'm just going in my shop.
Yeah, no, these are original that are part of the collection that they would never be sold. There are bowls and cactus bowls and things that he created that we have for sale. But these plates are permanent collection.
You just won't let go of that permanent collection, will you?
No, sorry.
I mean, that's the thing. It's so interesting on like what stays in the museum, what people can purchase, like whether it's an original or, it's like, I think if you can get an original now, you should jump on it because you know what I mean? It's do it while you can kind of thing, if you can, because I don't know, just get it because it's originals of Ted DeGrazia. That's a special thing to have. How do people, I mean, are they all in the consignment shop when they go in? How do people get originals and see what you have?
Yeah, that's everything that we have for sale is on consignment. So we do have a room where they can go in and pick whatever they like. You got oils, watercolors, ceramics, all kinds of stuff.
Now, do you help people, like, I know with art being historic at times, like DeGrazia's art is historic, like when hey, I've got this, let's put it in the consignment. Do you have people that can help in maybe cleaning up the art? Because I want to put out this, don't start cleaning your art if you don't know how to clean the art. Don't get your kitchen cleaner on art. Yeah.
Yes, we use an art conservator. Sometimes we need things cleaned. Sometimes things repaired. Sometimes you'll have a piece of art like an original oil that's got a tear in the canvas or whatever. So yeah, we do have people that do that.
That's cool. I know, because even when you redid, when the mission and the sun, had a fire and then had to be restored, and you guys did such an excellent job. You had to have someone go in and help actually put it back art-wise, right? And still leave. That was a crazy balance that you did on being able to restore that mission and keep it DeGrazia true, and I can imagine in the holiday season that the mission is well frequented,
Yeah, no, people go in there all the time. People use it all summer. They use it all year round. Locals use it. There's a lot of weddings in there. There's going to be a lot of weddings this month, next month. So
cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
it's a neat place.
Well, everyone, DeGrazia.org is a place to go. There's a lot to experience, as you can hear, this fall and going into the winter season. We'll stay in touch with Lance and get more. Usually the show airs every fourth Sunday, but with the holiday season, we want to get this out to you now so that you know what's happening, especially with all the artists coming to visit the Little Gallery and the rotating exhibit being on display for the next 3 months. And also looking at the big annual event, La Fiesta de Guadalupe. Again, that is happening December 14th. So thank you so much, Tucson dude.
Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. And by the way, Priscilla the Sock Monkey says hi.
Well, hello, Priscilla.
Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio's Tales of Ted DeGrazia show. This show airs every fourth Sunday. Learn more about DeGrazia Gallery in the Sun at DeGrazia.org. Follow the show at bigblendradio.com.